Good morning and welcome to Coffee Ann, the longest-running panel discussion show in American radio. To make a comment or ask a question to the panel, call 401-766-1240 or email coffee@woonsockеtradio.com. And now, let's join the Coffee Ann panel.
Good morning to you. It is Coffee Ann on ON Radio on Tuesday, March 4th. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan. And around the coffee and table, we'll say good morning to Linda Tebow. Hi, Linda.
Good morning.
Good morning. And Ed Carew from the Carew Investment Group. Hi, Ed.
Morning.
Good morning, and thanks for joining us, everyone. Comments and questions can be called in at 766-1240. Ed, it's time for our first message from the Carew Investment Group.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group, 2190 Mendon Road in Cumberland, Rhode Island. Our telephone number is 765-8880. At the Carew Investment Group, we offer personal management of investment accounts depending on what you're looking for. Whether it be for current income, or 401k rollover, or growth for the future, we can put together a program to assist you with your goals. We've been in business since 1987. That's 38 years that we've been helping people just like you with their investments. So give us a call at 765-8880. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC. Advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
All right, Ed, thanks. And we had it on the news yesterday. And, of course, Ed's with the level head, Linda.
I know.
They said, the stock market took a hit yesterday. Ed didn't panic, which is good.
Well, he never does.
And so things going to... And now they're saying because of the tariffs that are put in, that more up and down activity going to happen on the stock market?
Yeah.
Okay.
The tariffs are a big question mark. Some of them went into effect last night.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
For how long will they be in effect? That's a big question.
Right.
But that's only part of the reasons that the market has been selling off the past couple of weeks. Part of it is it was very high. We've been making all-time highs without any meaningful corrections.
Well, here we go.
It's what we call price to perfection. So when anything that you didn't expect or when something negative happens, you get the reaction right away because you were priced to perfection. And what just happened wasn't exactly perfect.
No.
There were other things, too. The numbers coming out economically, on the economy have been a little bit shakier than they were, let's say, 3 months ago and 6 months ago. Part of that being because of the weather. This has been the worst winter, temperature-wise and snow-wise. We didn't get all that much snow, but temperature-wise at least, for the whole country in over 10 years. Yeah. So, that people just don't want to go out, stuff like that. In addition to that part of the weather, you've had these horrible forest wildfires in California. Mm-hmm. So, the weather has been a big portion of it, too. The earnings that are coming out have been good. We're at the end of earnings season. So this morning, Target reported earnings, and they beat expectations.
They did.
Yeah, so did Best Buy. They came out and beat expectations. It probably won't matter. Their stock will probably not go up because there's a negative attitude right now in the country as far as what's going on with tariffs and everything else.
I'm thinking that for Best Buy with their computers and things like that they probably get from overseas. And
well, of course,
the prices of computers are going to go up.
Computers are going to go up. The price of automobiles are going to go up. Target this morning was saying that within the next few days, you're going to notice the price of produce going up because at this time of year, your strawberries and lettuce and bananas and stuff
outside.
like that all comes from Mexico.
Yeah.
Mexico.
So, that's...
Avocados,
Yeah, right. And inflation has really not dropped. Really not dropped at all over the past 3 months, 6 months. The only thing that has dropped, which is on the good side, is unemployment dropped in the last month that they measured, January.
Wait, that'll go up with all these firings we're doing.
Well, yeah, probably, but it dropped from 4.1% to 4%, so that was a positive. But you're right.
It's going to go up because everybody's getting let go.
Yeah.
So
those are the reasons.
They're good reasons.
Yeah.
Okay. You know, Linda, how we like to keep track of what's going on where Ed lives and the town he lives in, and
Yeah.
the town
What
next
did
door.
we do
Because there's
now?
always something bizarre
Yeah.
going on in that whole Middleborough, Lakeville section of Massachusetts.
Well, that's because it's near the Bridgewater Triangle.
Is that right?
So like the
Why?
Bermuda Triangle?
Yeah. It's,
Oh.
So
yeah,
strange things happen there.
part of Middleborough, part of Lakeville, Bridgewater.
Is that because the prison's down there? Is it?
No, it's got to do with the old Indian
Ah.
things, the Wampanoag Indians.
Ah.
Well, this has got nothing to do with that.
Okay, good.
But your town,
Yes,
Middleborough, Mass,
yes,
you're suing Governor Maura Healey and her administration
yes, we are.
over the MBTA zoning laws.
they are?
Like you
You
mentioned,
are?
like you mentioned last week.
Yeah.
Well, Middleborough officials, and do you have a town manager? Do you have a
Town manager.
Okay. Says Healy is withholding $73,000 grant
Uh-huh.
for mental health needs over their opposition to the effort to force high-density, affordable housing on them. You don't want it, huh? Okay.
Nope.
Town officials also say the state is refusing to sign a Mass Works contract for nearly $3 million over the dispute. The suit seeks to exempt Middleborough from compliance with the law until the state provides the promised funding. Fun.
But that's what they do. You can do what you want, but we'll withhold the funding, right?
Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah.
what
They
do.
said they would do that. and we
Well,
said, "No,
we're
we don't
doing
care."
that on the federal level as well.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you know, what the heck?
No, so we didn't ask for the MBTA station. Take
No,
it
you
and
did
get
not.
it out of Middleborough.
Yeah.
We didn't ask for this thing.
Put it in Lakeville.
It's right on the Lakeville line.
Is
Let
it?
them
Well,
pay for
okay.
it.
Yeah. Does it get any use? No.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it
Yeah.
must.
Yeah.
does,
It
yeah.
must.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there is some. I don't want to call it low-income housing. I'm not exactly sure what terminology to use for that, but there is some.
Affordable.
Affordable
They
housing.
say
Affordable.
affordable.
There is some affordable
Yeah.
housing that
Yeah.
has been built previously in
Right,
that
sure,
area. So it's
sure.
not like there's a lot of
Nothing.
open land
Yeah,
and
right. Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
no affordable housing. There is
Right.
affordable housing there.
Yeah.
They want us. They want
More.
them to put more.
Or, yeah.
Which means you put in more affordable housing.
More
Well, you're going
schools.
to need more school.
Yeah.
You're going to need more fire. You're going to need
Yeah.
more police.
Everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. We got you. We know. No, because the same
You all
thing
know what I'm
endorsement.
talking
Yes,
about, don't
we
ya?
do. Yes, we do. Yes, we do know all about that. Endorsement field. Yes, we do. Yeah.
Okay, well, that's what your town's up to, Ed, and I always find it funny that they're in the news somehow. So, but anyway, the MBTA line that goes through Middleborough, is that the one that goes all the way to Fall River? Do you
Yes.
know?
Yeah,
It
that's
is.
the one that they
commuter line.
extended to Fall River.
Okay, okay, just double checking. Okay, you ever use it?
Me?
Yeah, just you
I've
know.
never been on any
You've
train.
never been on a train. Wow.
Except on at Edaville Railroad.
This is different.
That counts.
Oh,
well,
and at
We go in a circle?
Clark's Train Beers in New Hampshire.
another one that goes in a
That one,
circle.
it goes,
Yeah,
it goes
yeah,
there
yeah.
and then it comes
Yeah,
back.
yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's the only time I've been on trains.
Yeah.
Try going on the T sometime. It's a little different because they want money. Although the Edaville, so do they. But you get to pay
Yeah.
the person, get to pay the conductor on the
Yes,
on the
you do.
line. That's always a
Yeah.
good time.
Well, Jane said half the time they didn't even collect. The train was so full
It's
that
so
the
full in
conductor
the
couldn't
morning.
come by and collect.
That's
Yeah.
morning drive. It's like that. Yeah, and so nice deal if you can get it. where you can't get on. All right.
Well, no wonder they're losing money.
That's right, because we can't collect the money.
You know, it's so busy in the store where our cashiers don't have time to cash out. Just take your stuff.
And I don't unless things
Where's
change.
that store? I'm going.
I don't know why they do it this way. They wait for you to get on the train, they wait for the train to move, and then they come around and collect money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, why don't they collect the money
Before
before you get on the train?
you get on the train, yeah.
You're all lined up.
Yeah.
You can only get on
Right
the
there.
train at certain locations one at a
Right.
time.
Yeah.
Everything pays by the phone now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You beep, beep,
Yeah. Beep,
and maybe
beep.
it is like that now.
Yeah.
You know,
It
it's
might,
been such,
it might
it's been
be
such a
now.
long
I don't
time.
know. You know, Jane retired 5 years ago. So.
But the last time I was on a train to go into Boston had to be 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So relatively recent. It was on a weekend. The weekends I have to pay. I went with my daughter. She was under 18, so she was free, so that was good. But yeah, I paid with the phone. They beeped it, and then they gave me a ticket. And they stick the ticket
In the seat.
in the seat
Yeah.
in front of you.
Yeah.
And then a little later on, they just come and take it and say, okay, this
Yeah.
person's already paid. So they still do it.
So they're still
It's
doing
still a
it
little
that way.
paper way. Yeah.
You know, Ed, when you were saying you don't go on the train or, in Edaville, my mother, God rest her soul, had never been on a train, and the first train she was ever on was the Polar Express. She was so excited. And when we told the Bob Billington that she had never been on a train, the conductor came back after and gave her a cup that said, "This is special because your first ride." But it was so funny. She was on the Polar Express. She had a picture taken with Santa and Bob Billington.
Well, Santa's not riding the T, so that's a special train ride right there.
Polar Express.
I want to mention this at 8:10 on Tuesday morning. Our Spotlight Deal of the Week for Gators Pub and Lumberjack Pizza has sold out. We had a bunch of gift certificates, $50 gift certificates, all worth $25
How
a
many
piece.
did you have?
We had 40. And we started selling them last Friday, and we made it all the way to Tuesday.
Wow.
And now they're gone. So sorry about that, folks. If you were thinking of planning to do it, we're done at the moment. We should have another business that wants to do this on Friday. We'll let you know about that a little later on when we got it all nailed down and
very good deal.
all
A
the
very good
T's are
place.
crossed and the I's are dotted and things like that. But right now, the Gators Pub and thanks to everyone that bought one, the Gators Pub and Lumberjack Pizza is a sellout. All right, we had a man that was struck and killed in Uxbridge last week. They have released his name. Elderly man from Douglas, Massachusetts, 80-year-old Robert Allen Josie was hit on North Main Street in Uxbridge on February 24th. He died 2 days later. Doesn't say if he was crossing the street or walking with the traffic or anything like that. Just says the driver of the vehicle did remain at the scene and is not facing any charges related to the incident at this time. So it looks like no speeding. No drugs were involved. No alcohol was involved. It just, sometimes it's just an accident.
Well, most times it's just,
Yeah.
There seems to be a lot
happen.
more accidents lately on the news with people in crosswalks, though.
They're actually in the crosswalk.
They're getting hit.
Gotta pay attention. I know, especially crosswalks,
Yeah.
and I like that they have it here in Woonsocket at least 2 locations where they got those flashing yellow lights.
That's, yeah.
I mean, especially coming down Clinton Street. I start seeing that at the police station.
Yeah.
It all of a sudden something's flashing. What's going on?
Yeah.
And it really gets your attention. Oh, time to stop.
Well, as it should.
And it should
as
do
it
that.
should, yeah.
Of course, it's also on the people who need to push the button,
Yeah,
and some people don't.
yeah.
So it takes so long.
Yeah.
It takes so long to push the button.
Yeah.
And but I would rather I'd rather push the button, wait for the lights to flash, get into the crosswalk, and then if you get hit, boy, you've got a lawsuit for you.
Yeah.
Because you did everything right, and they still hit you.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, if you're in the crosswalk, no matter what,
you have the right of way.
you have the right of way, and
that's-
people have to pay attention.
They're supposed
And sadly,
to.
sometimes they do not.
They're supposed to. That's right.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break here in the Coffee and program right now, and we're going to turn things over to Ed Carew for a second message from the Carew Investment Group.
Okay, Joe, thank you very much again. Good morning again, everyone. Ed Carew here of the Carew Investment Group, 2190 Mendon Road in Cumberland. Telephone number is 765-8880. And at the Carew Investment Group, we focus on personalized investment management of client money using stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. Actually, they're exchange-traded funds, which has lower costs. Our goal is to select quality investments that we expect to go up over time, not every day, but over time. If you'd like to speak with us, you can give us a call at 765-8880, and we'll get you into the office within a day or two and see if we can find a way to help you, if we can do anything to help you. So give us a call at 765-8880 for an appointment with Better Money Management. Securities are offered through Bolton Global Capital, member FINRA and SIPC, and advisory services offered through Bolton Global Asset Management, a registered investment advisor.
Thanks, Ed. Comments and questions can be called into the Coffee and panel at 766-1240.
When it comes to emergency service for plumbing and heating, you can't beat C.J. Nemus, 37 Corey Street in Woonsocket. C.J. Nemus offers over 15 years of experience and is licensed in both Rhode Island and Massachusetts. C.J. Nemus offers complete heating system service, plumbing, water heaters, plus drain and sewer cleaning. Remember that senior citizens receive a 10% discount. So give Charlie a call today at C.J. Nemus, 769-4776. They're registered with the Better Business Bureau. They're a master plumber with quality service. It's the only way and the best way. With C.J. Nemus, call today, 769-4776 for C.J. Nemus.
I am James, Senior Apparel Designer, and this is Behind the Design with Hawks. Hawks is your classic workwear brand. It's designed for those guys that are on the job site. Just driven performance, just rugged and comfortable. Thinking of durability, everything is either double, triple stitched, bar tacked. It's built durable, it's going to perform, it's going to move with you, it's going to have everything that you need in a product. Hawks, only at Boot Barn.
Some people just know they could save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
The Coffee and Panel is enjoying coffee from Down East Coffee Roasters. All their coffee is roasted right here in Rhode Island. Down East Coffee Roasters is available at all Little General stores.
ON, AM, and FM.
Okay, Coffee and on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. Joe Callahan along with Ed Carew and Linda Tebow. So, the whole thing has taken on a life of its own with the whole thing with Trump and Vance and Ukrainian President Zelensky and the whole blowing up and the whole argument that took place in the Oval Office and Zelensky being thrown out and blah, blah, blah. And you hear all sorts of different things just come at you from all different angles. And one of the things I heard is, this is nothing new. This happens or has happened all the time. You just haven't seen it. When these leaders get together in the Oval Office or wherever they get together, there's yelling and screaming.
Well, and that's okay.
And it is okay, but this is the first time it was on TV, so everybody saw it.
Yeah.
And they're like, what's going on? Well, I guess Trump wanted everyone to see it, as
Well,
opposed
yes,
to,
he
let's
did.
say, like,
Yes, he did.
Reagan and whoever, I can't even think of a good analogy, of those guys yelling in the Oval Office at each other, but it was never filmed. It was never televised.
No, he wanted it to be seen.
Does it so he could come across as the tough
Yeah,
guy?
and you know what it looked like to me?
What?
Gotta tell you, it looked like fifth grade boys and two of them, the bullies,
Two against
picking on the underdog there.
Okay.
And that's what it looked like, childish.
Mm-hmm.
And if they want to do that in private and negotiate deals, okay. But for the world to see,
Yeah.
he made us, the United States, they both did, made the United States look really bad, in my opinion. So
Okay. All right.
So there.
Ed, do you agree?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with
Made us look bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. He kept hopping on. The president kept hopping on to find out. We've given you $350
$billion.
Billion,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
That number is not even close.
Yeah.
All right, it's like nowhere near that. A third of
Is
that.
it lower
maybe.
that? Lower than
Much
that?
lower.
Okay.
Than that.
Yeah.
Okay.
At least get your freaking numbers right.
He never gets his
I
numbers
mean, I'm a numbers
right.
guy.
Yeah.
Don't come and tell me
Yeah.
a number that's like 3 times
Yeah.
What it really is.
right. Right away, I'm like turned off by it.
Yeah.
Well,
Don't come out and lie.
Exactly, and that's the thing, when they say fact checking. And in this, there's this president that was able to rally his country to fight against, what they keep forgetting. Russia invaded them.
No, that's another thing he's saying. He's
Yeah.
not that Trump has said that it's Zelensky's fault.
I know, that's what I mean.
That
But
he started it.
But the fact of the
Or
matter
he
is,
started it by not wanting to give up his land.
well, that's his country.
Yeah.
That's his country. If somebody came in and tried to take something away from the United States, well, look at Gulf of America. He wants Greenland, and and Zelensky. I mean, he's the most humble man I've ever seen. As a president, and he just wanted to do what's best for the country. And I do believe he was coming to sign that
Yes.
agreement.
Yeah, that's what
That was the
whole
purpose.
idea was.
The purpose of us going there was to sign the agreement for those mineral rights. And so the two of them, I mean, they look like, and I think what Zelensky was trying to say is, he wasn't trying to tell us how we should feel, but they've got a democracy, they're, and it was terrible. I just looked. I thought Trump and Vance looked like those bad guys. You know, the big bullies in the schoolyard picking on the underdog. And he did not make us look good. And now all of Europe is all together and going to help Ukraine.
All right.
But is that part of the plan? You never know what's in Trump's mind. Is this part of his plan to get Europe to band together and provide more aid than they were currently providing?
And they did.
But
And they did.
Do you think, you know, I don't know, but, you know, to put on that public display like that was
For the world to see.
for the
It's-
world to see.
Well,
And it worked.
It didn't have to be done on live TV, I
It
don't think.
didn't, and you know,
But Trump's method of
Yeah.
operation is to put the other guy in a bad position.
and
That's
make them
always
look
how
bad.
he's done
Yeah.
things.
But even, I don't know, if remember when Macron came and met with Trump, and, you know, he was speaking in French, and you know, and Trump was saying blah, 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 and Macron said, "Excuse me, we stand by Ukraine." You know, very gently, very diplomatically,
Yeah.
a gentleman, "Excuse me, Mr. President, we stand by Ukraine," you know?
Ed, do I have this right? And I heard, again, things you just hear from yesterday, is Europe came out and said they were going to give all this money,
Yeah.
like $2 billion to Ukraine. But they say it's a loan.
Uh-huh.
They expect to be paid back.
Yeah.
We, the United States, when we give money, it's never a loan. It's just, here you go.
Well, I think
Do I
that's
have that
part
right?
of, that's part of the hassle or the show of we saw.
Mm-hmm.
We gave them money. Let's forget about the amount,
Mm-hmm.
but we want $500 million worth of rare earth material
Yeah.
in exchange for the help that
Yeah.
we've already given them.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Right?
But we haven't got that now.
Well,
Well,
we don't have that now because it's all part of the show as far as
It
I'm
is part of the
concerned.
show. Okay.
You know, Zelensky said, okay, well, do that. He was there to sign that. He said,
Yeah.
but
Came
we
to sign
want
it.
a guarantee that you guys are going to back us if
Right.
Russia continues to, you know. So it's like I told you earlier, I think that whether we give them a guarantee or not, this is going to be fine for the next 4 years. Putin will relent and say, okay, let's have a ceasefire. We'll keep the land that we've already gotten. A lot of the material, the minerals that they want to get are on that land that Putin has already taken, right? And even if we're allowed to take the minerals from there, he'll do that for 4 years. After
While he
that,
waits.
while he waits for Trump to be gone
Yeah.
and a weaker president to come in, and then he'll just
Right
start
back.
over again.
Okay.
That's the way I read it down the road.
That's a great theory.
You know, and I mean, who knows if Putin's going to live 4 more years?
Well,
you know, I mean, all these guys are.
Who knows if Trump's
my
going to live 4
age.
more years?
well, that's the thing. But you know, the whole thing is like, you know, that whole Putin. I mean, that's like when the Nazis was taking over Europe.
That's what I was saying
Yeah.
to Joe earlier.
It's
I know.
just
Like
like
Hitler,
the
you're
same.
appeasing them
it's
for a
just-
period of time until
it's-
they decide they want something more.
Yeah, you know, I mean, it would behoove us to support Ukraine as we have done, you
Yeah.
know, against the
The big bad bully.
big bad
Yeah.
guy. you know. But no, as I said, yeah,
All right.
our allies are going to be North Korea and Russia. That's all that's left for us.
So switching it over for just a second to tariffs.
Yes.
Just started today. Like you said, Ed, you don't know how long they're going to last. Didn't we have it on our national news? That some not the premier of Canada, but someone up in Quebec, pretty high up. He's like, fine. How about we shut off the electricity that we sent to the United States? I'm like, uh-oh. Is he serious? Wow. Won't that
Won't that
not be good?
nice?
Like,
Well, we
oh
get
my
25% of our
God.
power and oil and
Yeah.
stuff like that from them.
I'm
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah.
that's
what I mean. Won't we
that's
get
an
a nice
issue.
kettle of fish.
Oh. Start rubbing sticks together to create fire.
I
It's
know.
like, oh
I
my
mean, that's
goodness.
the thing. And you know, I think he does that like as a show of, you know, with the tariffs, you know,
Show of force. I
force,
can
you
do
know, kind of a thing. And
it. Okay. We had a note that was called in on a completely different subject.
Okay.
766-1240. It just says, I hope you like fast food or good home cooking because local restaurant prices are sky high. The highest I've ever seen.
It's going to get higher.
And Ed just, like Ed said, they are going to get higher, especially your salads,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
the produce coming in from
Produce.
outside.
You know, between the eggs and the
between the
produce,
eggs?
we're gonna,
Yeah.
like the bakers, all the bakeries are in trouble because
Yeah.
price of eggs.
And so
Yeah.
that means cakes are going to go up.
Yes, it
and,
will.
and everything.
Cookies and all the others. Yeah.
And I looked it up last week because remember, the country of Turkey said we're going to help out,
Yeah.
and we're sending bazillion eggs to you guys.
Yeah.
You know when they're sending them?
In September,
July.
July. Oh,
July 1, we're getting 250 million.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, it's March 1st,
Yeah.
so we still got sky high egg prices
Yeah.
until at least July.
Or you could rent those chickens.
That's
that-
right.
Did you say
Rent the
rent the
chickens.
chickens?
Rent the chickens. Yeah, they'll bring
you
you a
see
coop. They'll give
Yeah.
you some chickens.
Chickens, yeah,
To show you
they'll-
how to feed them.
And they'll lay a dozen eggs a week.
Right.
But they said check the chicken ordinance in your town.
Oh, you yes, you're gonna have to.
Right.
Because
Wait,
some say
you
they
don't have to worry about that. You get the right to farm in Middleborough.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
They're just
Well,
chickens
get
are for sale
tell
all
you
over the
what,
place. Chickens.
Ed, you
Eggs are
get
for sale all
you
over the
get
place.
chickens. You get the chickens and bring us the
Bring 'em
eggs
some, yeah.
every Tuesday.
The other 240 million of chicken eggs coming from Turkey will come around Christmas of this year. They're going to send them in at 6 months intervals. Well, you got to collect, you got to
Well,
package,
you
you got to
do.
ship.
and what's the expiration date on these
I don't
eggs?
know.
that
And
are
how many
coming?
are going to break on their way here?
Bingo. Yeah.
How are they sending them?
Yeah. Yeah.
Boat or airplane?
Yeah.
It's a long way from Turkey.
Molecular transporter.
Ooh, I like that. Little Star Trek.
Beam them up.
Beam 'em up.
Yeah,
That would be
beam 'em
great.
up, Scotty.
All right, so
But there's
expect high prices then in the restaurants until at least then.
there's eggs for sale all over the place in Middleborough. People
I know,
are
but-
just
Oh,
size
those
sale.
are the eggs you got to buy now. You're
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Yeah.
And
All right.
just as good too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Better.
We had a neighbor
They're
that had
fresh.
some. They used to bring us eggs
Yeah.
now and then. Yeah.
All right, this doesn't affect you, Ed, but Linda doesn't affect me either. But Linda, Governor Dan McKee's running for re-election.
I saw that.
Made it official.
He made it official.
Sent
yeah.
out a 3-minute
Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
Said I'm definitely running for re-election.
Mm-hmm.
He said when he inherited the state, it came in the COVID pandemic. We had poor performing
he
schools and a rising addiction rate. He says things are getting better as he tries to move the state forward. Of course, he ran into this bridge thing. Not
The
that was
bridges.
his fault,
Yeah, that
but
was- yeah.
that it was broke. But it's up to him to try and fix the thing. So he won his first full term in 2022. He wants another one,
Yeah.
and we'll see who comes out against him. Biggest rumor going around is that the AG, Peter Nerona,
Well, I
will come out and run against him.
I was thinking that. Yeah.
in a Democratic primary.
Yeah.
And then there's they still kick around the name Helen Folks, who ran against him
That
last
one,
time.
yeah, for CBS. Yeah.
That she may run
yeah,
again. So
yeah.
the politics of Rhode Island turns out to be fun. And speaking of the bridge,
Speaking of the bridge.
the demolition of the bridge has moved to a new phase. The superstructure demolition was completed last week, and now they're going to take down the substructure. I don't know what any of this means, but that's what they're going to do. The substructure demolition will initially focus on land elements on the East Providence side of the river, and it's going to take them 9 months to get this done. We can't just blow it up.
No.
We got to go in and cut it.
Yeah.
So that's how long it's going to take. The work will take place during the daytime. There are noise and dust controls in place. It'll never be enough for the residents down there, but they will be in place as you hear the cutting and the jackhammering and the other things they do to take apart a bridge. And of course, it is going to kick up dust, especially from the cement if they got to cut cement. So, and the demolition is expected to be completed by the end of the year. So, and then maybe we'll build.
And they have to build.
And so we're looking at 2026 at the earliest.
I had said 5 years.
Quite possible.
There's supposed to be the funding for it, though.
Yes,
Even without the appropriations, DOT said that.
we hope so, right?
Yeah, well, one would hope because appropriations are going to be scarce, I think.
All right. Well, we'll see. And I wonder if anyone will use the bridge against Dan McKee when they run against him.
They probably will. I mean, and that it surely wasn't his fault.
Wasn't his fault it broke, but
No.
fixing it,
Yeah,
demolition,
yeah.
it's taking too long.
Yeah.
That's your fault.
Yeah.
Kind of
Well,
thing.
even that whole process at the beginning where they, didn't get it, enough people saying, I want to
Oh, yeah.
do it, that held up time a lot, too.
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a break here on the Coffee and program and more coming your way. 766-1240 for comments and questions. It's time for the forecast being brought to you by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. Today, mostly sunny with a high temperature near 47. Southwest wind 5 to 15 miles per hour. Wind gusts as high as 26 miles per hour. Tonight, increasing clouds. Low temperature around 39. Southwest wind around 10 miles per hour with wind gusts as high as 21 miles per hour. Wednesday's weather, rain likely, mainly late in the afternoon after 5 p.m. Cloudy all day with a high temperature near 55. Continued windy on Wednesday with wind gusts as high as 29 miles per hour. Wednesday night, rain. The rain could be heavy at times. Low temperature around 49 with wind gusts as high as 32 miles per hour. Thursday, rain likely, mainly before 9 in the morning. Mostly cloudy on Thursday with a high near 57. Friday, sunny, high near 43. Saturday, mostly sunny, high near 45. Sunday, mostly sunny, high near 36. Monday, mostly sunny, high near 40. Outside the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio on the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street with sunny skies. We're above the freezing mark now. We're at 35 degrees. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you are not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Call the 24-hour victim helpline at 877-MAD-HELP or visit mad.org. Transforming your house into a home is what they do at Cumberland Kitchen and Bath Design Center. Kitchen trends for 2025 include big color, open shelving, mixed materials, hardware reimagined, keeping it green, and room to gather. Kevin and his crew at Cumberland Kitchen can show you the latest trends and possibly something you have not thought of. Visit CumberlandKitchen.com or stop into the showroom in the McDonald's Plaza on Mendon Road, Cumberland, just off Route 295. Cumberland Kitchen and Bath Design Center.
Have more fun this winter.
Come learn to ski and snowboard with us.
If it's been years since you last skied, this is the perfect place to return to learn.
Then you'll have all season to have fun.
Go to Wachusett.com for beginner discounts.
Hello, this is Kevin Callahan. Join me and Pat Holland in the cheap seats with Pat and Kevin. Sports Talk every Saturday morning at 9 here on ON, AM, and FM.
It's Coffee In on ON Radio. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Linda Tebow and Ed Carew. And I don't know if you want to have a comment on the situation. We had the story yesterday about the man that ran for mayor here in the city of Woonsocket that was arrested.
Oh,
Mr.
yes.
Harrison.
Yes, I saw
for the
that.
forgery.
I thought, yeah.
And
But there
dead
seems to be
people on his nomination papers
there
as
seems
well.
This last election seemed to bring that out in a lot of places, like the
Lieutenant Governor had the same thing, same problem.
Yeah.
But
Well, it's good to know that they're checking those things.
That's good to know. And then when they arrested him, the bigger story is the guns and the ammunition that he had in his car.
Yeah, right,
I go,
exactly.
that's a little more important than the forgery.
Than the forgeries, right,
on
exactly.
an election he lost. So
Yeah.
why aren't you focusing on the guns and the
Oh,
high
I
capacity
think,
magazines?
Yeah, I think that'll get him in some trouble. But I was
More trouble.
But we always used to joke about that. That they're getting the dead people to sign, but at least they're looking at that now.
Yes.
And that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good thing.
So the Rhode Island law has the capacity magazines set at 10.
Yeah.
He had one at 13.
Yeah.
He's like, can't have it. And then he tried. And then
Well,
he gave a false name when he was arrested, and he resisted arrest, and tried to make a run for it. And they caught him before he could get into his car.
And you don't even know that gun. Did he have a license?
They said he had license to carry in a few states.
But how
out
about
west,
this one?
but Rhode Island was one of them.
Yeah.
However,
Rhode Island was one of them?
yes, because he wasn't charged with unlawful carry.
Oh, okay.
But what he was charged with, and I thought this was amusing, was the gun was not secure in his car.
Right.
It was in his lunchbox.
It was in his lunchbox.
Oh, okay.
It was
So
in
it
his
was a
lunchbox.
pistol.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah.
So pistol in the lunchbox, left the car running while he went into Subway on Clinton to get a sandwich, And they said, well, now the gun's unsecure. You're left it in the...
It's a funny place to put your gun, though.
I think this is a
lunchbox.
really funny place
Reminds
to put
me,
in.
you know, the fiddle with the Tommy gun and the fiddle.
I mean, I'm sure he's got a an adult lunchbox, but I could just look at. I'm thinking of like a Flintstones lunchbox.
Probably more apt to be stolen
if it was out.
If it was in his lunchbox.
Well, you would think, you would think so.
Lunch,
right?
Yeah, lunchbox. You know, he should have. I don't know what he should have done. You know,
right. Yeah.
Something better than that. So.
Well, locked glove compartment would be a heck of a lot better than putting in your running car in a lunchbox.
There are so many trends that are wrong there.
Yeah,
so many things that were wrong with that situation.
Right. There was a mother and her 3-year-old child. They had to be hospitalized Monday morning. They were involved in a crash on Route 95 down in Warwick. Happened around 10 a.m. For whatever reason, the woman veered off the roadway, hit a parked tractor trailer, ended up in the center of the road of the highway, and then they were hit by another vehicle. They start crisscrossing the road, and you get hit by somebody else. So the woman suffered serious but not life-threatening injuries. The child had minor injuries, and the driver of the second vehicle, he also had, well, they don't say man or woman, but the driver of the second vehicle also had minor injuries. And have you ever been driving along highway, back road, and you see an accident happen in front of you? And maybe you can avoid it.
Yeah.
I have.
Yeah, I've avoided them.
And it was...
avoiding things that looked like an accident was going to happen.
I've avoided that too. I've seen people seem to be racing.
Right.
But actually, like driving along, and you see the accident happen in front of you. And I've seen it happen.
Yeah.
I was in Middletown.
Yeah.
And,
at least it wasn't Borough.
No, it wasn't in Middleborough. They're right. Driving along, and you could see like 2 miles ahead of you. And all of a sudden, the car that was coming in my direction was in the air.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow. That shouldn't be happening.
No, what shall I do? Yeah.
Now what do I do? But it's in the air.
Yeah.
And it flipped over and crashed on its hood.
Wow.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
And so, but now I'm coming up to it. Now it's blocking the road. So I get out, and a few of others get out, and we're running towards the car. Turns out she was being chased by a Middletown police officer. Oh. So he was right on the scene.
Yeah.
But we're all pointing at the car because you can't see it. It's on fire, like the engine. And he's like, "What?" I said, We're all pointing. It's on fire. He was able to get out his fire extinguisher and put out. And I never found out what happened to the driver of that car. I did find out that they were chased because they were shoplifting from like a Stop and Shop, and so they made a run for it. It was wintertime. They hit a patch of ice, which catapulted them into the air. But it's very disconcerting to see. If you go to a car show, that's different. You go to a demolition derby, okay, cars get up in the air.
Yeah.
But not on the highway.
Not when you're driving on the highway.
Yeah.
And now the car is up and flipping around. I'm like, wow, that's not something I expected to see. All right, other things going on. Rhode Island Public Schools, they're being advised not to eliminate diversity, equity, and inclusion, the whole DEI, or change any protections for LGBTQ plus students, pending the outcome of the thousands of lawsuits that are out there.
And they'll get their federal aid.
Yeah, the Trump administration's deadline for schools to end DEI programs that face federal funding cuts was last week.
Yeah.
Was last Friday.
Yeah.
But Attorney General for Rhode Island, Peter Nerona, and the Education Commissioner, Angelica, I think that's how you say your name.
Angelica.
Infante Green said President Trump's executive orders on transgender students and DEI programs overstep executive branch authority to withhold federal funds. They want a judge to figure the whole thing out.
But they will withhold them until proven otherwise, probably.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you got to be careful if you're a UPS driver, FedEx driver, postal delivery driver, when you're down on the Cape, because you just never know when the tide's coming in. Maybe you should know when the tide is coming in. And this happened in Wellfleet, where a FedEx driver is safe. He had to be rescued from his partially submerged truck. He was on a road when the tide began to rapidly rise.
I saw that on TV, and I'm saying, how did he get there?
He drove out there, and then here comes the water.
Wow.
Yeah. Firefighters were able to reach the driver by boat, so it rose pretty quick.
Yeah.
And they got him to safety. This is good. Now, the problem is all the packages that were in the FedEx truck.
Seawater.
So every package had to be inspected, and we're going to make 2 piles. Unaffected and affected. So the unaffected packages were just given to other trucks. Please go make these deliveries. The affected packages, we're going to have to call the customers. And I don't know if do you call the sender or where they're being delivered. Maybe it's the same person. And say, sorry, got a little seawater in your thing. And maybe what they were getting, it's okay. It won't affect what they're getting. But maybe it does. So, yeah.
Sorry, your new iPhone was
Oh,
submerged in salt water.
That'll be an issue. That's not going to work.
That's not going to work. Yeah.
No, but if you're getting, like, let's say, what's a good example? Let's get some seawater in it, and it's still going to be, that's all right. Well, if you order, like, a package, let's say food, like a package of like Planters nuts. Yeah. And they're packaged in, if the water doesn't get into where the nuts are, they should still be okay.
I wouldn't.
I would say
you wouldn't risk it.
There would be
anything with food. I think
contamination.
They're gonna ditch whatever.
You think so?
Food.
I think so. Yeah.
So like potato chips, even though the bag is sealed, it's not sealed good enough.
Definitely.
Anything with food, I think.
A jar of Planters nuts are probably still going to be good, but I don't believe that the FDA or whoever. Whoever the inspecting authority would pass that. But
okay, what if you like to order your, let's say, steaks from Omaha Steaks?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? Have you ever picked up an Omaha steak?
I've done that in the past.
Okay, they come, it's vacuum sealed in those bags. Would those be okay?
I think I'm with Ed. They probably ditch anything with that.
You don't want to risk
anything about food because, those people that are sending it will be held liable.
Oh, okay. So the candidate for mayor in Boston, Bob Kraft's son, Josh Kraft, says his campaign has raised $337,000 in its first month alone.
Wow.
I would say that's pretty good.
That's very good.
In your first month.
Yeah.
Kraft says this is a record for the first month of mayoral preliminary election race. He says the campaign has gained momentum in fundraising, community support, and volunteer engagement. The nonprofit head and son of Robert Kraft says he's confident they will be able to build on the progress already made in one short month as he goes against Michelle Wu. Now, Michelle Wu's in trouble. Not trouble. She's being criticized, let's say. And I don't know if you heard about this incident. A man up in Boston was going after a couple of women, and he either chased them or they ran into a Chick-fil-A restaurant to get away from this guy that had a knife and was coming after them. Inside the Chick-fil-A is an off-duty police officer who pulls out his gun, tells him to drop the knife. He won't drop the knife. And the police officer shot and killed him.
Yeah.
And I saw it on the news, Ed.
Yeah, there.
Michelle Wu and the chief of police, or was it the commissioner? Anyway, came out and said, we send our condolences to the guy with the knife. I'm like, what? What about the 2 women that were being attacked? No.
And they're investigating because he was an off duty, right? Off duty.
Oh well, sure they are.
Yeah.
And now, did you see all that? Michelle Wu come out and say that? Ed? Yeah. So now family members of the man who was shot and killed say they're shocked. That he was shot and killed by the police. He allegedly refused to drop a knife in the restaurant on Saturday. He was reportedly involved in a fight with 2 people that spilled into the restaurant. I heard it was 2 women, and there was an off-duty police officer who shot him dead because he wouldn't drop the knife. The family members of the one that died say he was not a violent person, yet he's wielding a knife, and he was from a hard-working local family. So more controversy coming there. And but yeah, Michelle Wu came out and said condolences to the family of the person that died. Like, but he was the one swinging the knife. He's quote unquote the bad guy
and I'm
in
sure
this
there are
scenario.
plenty of witnesses in the Chick-fil-A to see.
Well,
what's
there's
at
least one worker that saw probably what was going on.
Yeah.
And I thought about the 2 women. Well, what about them?
Yeah, how about
Who were
that?
probably pretty scared that this person's coming after them with a knife.
So.
And how about congratulating the cop?
Yeah.
So instead of having a couple of dead bodies and possibly more and more wounded people, we only have 1.
Yeah.
Isn't that? And that's what the off-duty police officers are supposed to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
when you're a cop.
But it seems that every time a police officer does that, there's a big issue, a big hoopla.
Well, they always put them on not probation.
Paid
on
leave.
leave. They put a paid leave while we investigate.
While we investigate.
Was this a what's called a good kill or a bad kill?
Well, and you know what I think is going to happen is that one of these days one of these days those police officers are going to say, I see this is happening, but not my job.
Oh.
And just walk away.
Jeez. I hope it doesn't come to that.
I hope it doesn't. Hope it doesn't, but...
Oh, okay. In Littleton, Mass? That's kind of nearby, isn't it? Isn't that in Metro West? Littleton?
Not sure.
No. Anyway, police in Littleton said fires were set at a charging station for Tesla vehicles.
Oh, yeah.
They were deliberately set. The fires were set to 7 chargers at the station early Monday morning. The flames were spotted by a person living nearby. They called 911. Littleton Fire and Police at the scene say they agree with state police fire investigators that the fires have been deliberately set. Anyone with information has to contact Littleton Police. It doesn't say how long it took them to put the fire out.
Especially an electrical fire.
Electrical charges. It might take a little while to put those out, but intentionally set.
Somebody doesn't like what Doge is doing.
I guess I guess not. Or they're just sick and tired of seeing those ugly Tesla cars out on the road. All right, more Coffee Hands coming up. Please stick around.
At Menard Lockature Funeral Home, we focus on partnering with you to plan a loving remembrance for those we've lost. At any venue of your choice, whether a church or our home, whatever your preference, whether for burial or cremation, planning a loving remembrance with a personal touch is our mission. Special music, a dove release, even a motorcycle escort, anything that you deem appropriate can be a part of your loving tribute. Menard Lockature Funeral Homes, Woonsocket in Manville.
Do you have 3 ex-wives and your current trophy wife wants a life insurance policy 3 times the size of the policies you had to purchase for your previous mistakes? If so, you need to call Big Lou at Term Provider, 800-230-2777. Big Lou is intimately familiar with your problems, and if you're 50 or 60 years old and in reasonably good health, a $1 million policy should only cost about $100 to $200 per month. Big Lou may have a solution for your previous policies as well. You may even save enough money to lighten the load on your new $1 million policy. Remember, call Big Lou. He's like you, except he's only on number 2. Call Term Provider at 800-230-2777. That's 800-230-2777 for $1 million in term life insurance that you can live with. Call Big Lou at 800-230-2777. 800-230-2777.
You can depend on us for public service. ON Radio.
It is Coffee and on ON AM and FM. Thanks for joining us. This is Joe Callahan here with Ed Carew and Linda Tebow. And did you hear Dolly Parton's husband passed away? How about that? They've been married for almost 60 years, and you never saw him.
No. Huh?
Nope. He never wanted any of it. Wherever she went, it was always just her.
Yeah.
And any kind of publicity.
Yeah.
But she announced it on Instagram that her husband, Carl Dean, had died Monday. He was 82 years old. They pair met in 1964. They married in 1966, with Dean staying mostly out of the spotlight. A lot out of the spotlight. Parton's statement added that the two spent many wonderful years together and that words can't do justice for the love we shared for over 60 years. And whenever you saw her, like walking around Dollywood at her amusement park, he was never there. I have no idea what he looks like. Yeah. I have no idea what he did.
Yeah.
Was he your manager?
No idea.
Did he help out with her
He
career
was the
at
husband
all?
of.
Man.
He was probably a house husband or something.
Pretty good deal if you can get it.
Well, yeah.
Wow, but 82 years old. Doesn't say what he passed away from, but he was 82. All right. Let's see. What else is? Did you watch anybody watch the Academy Awards? Yeah.
Nah.
No.
No.
I didn't. We didn't either. No. It's just maybe it's just an age thing. Yeah. You know, I used to be so interested in them, and now
I used to watch them. But now I haven't watched them for a long time. Yeah.
And the best picture was a movie called Honora. Has anyone seen it?
No.
No, okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to go see it now that they won Best Picture? Okay.
Not heard of it. Never mind. Didn't go see it.
Yeah, I never. Well, it happens. It didn't get the big splashy advertising like Wicked did.
Wicked. I
or,
thought they were going to come up with something.
They
yeah.
won nothing. It
Nothing,
seems.
I
The,
know,
the other
huh?
one was the Bob Dylan movie.
Yeah.
They won nothing.
Nothing. Yeah.
but this movie about Honora, which deals with like what I hear, a prostitute in Brooklyn that on the whim gets married to some Russian person from Russia, and they went, now it's supposed to be a romantic comedy, and I'm like, I don't see the comedy anywhere.
Is this a takeoff on Officer and a Gentleman or something?
or Pretty Woman.
Pretty
I'm not sure. And then, well, now the Russian family wants it to get annulled, and it's like this. I'm like, okay. I don't know. And then I saw, not really a review, it was just really an opinion. One of the other movies that was up for Best Picture is called The Brutalist. Okay? And this person posted online, I thought it was just so funny. And it just said, don't waste your... Everyone says it's brilliant. And you should go see it because it's so good. He goes, I went to go see it. I goes, I can't get those 3 hours back. He goes, worst movie I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And you know, I feel the same way. I remember this is a few years ago. People say this movie is brilliant. It had two big stars in it. It had Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson. I said, okay, that's a good start right there. It's called Lost in Translation. And did you see it?
No.
You see it?
No.
Okay, I did. And it's all about Bill Murray's a big movie star, and he goes to Japan, and he's a movie star there, and he's going to do some TV commercials for some products in Japan, of which he's going to get paid for. And this actually happens. Movie stars go to Japan and sponsor their products over there. And I kept waiting for something to happen. And he meets Scarlett Johansson there, and they date a little while, and then it was over. The movie was over.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm like, what was supposed to happen?
I don't know, but I hope the popcorn was good.
Oh, the popcorn was when the popcorn's the best part of the movie.
But
you know something's wrong.
When they use that word brilliant, beware.
Yeah,
because
that's right. I'm
no,
like-
it's like, it seems like
Well, then they keep saying, well,
What's-
something's wrong with you because you don't get it.
Because you don't get it.
Yeah,
you have to be brilliant to
I
get
gotta
it.
be brilliant to get it. And I'm like,
you see that? Yeah.
I kept waiting for Bill Murray to be funny.
Yeah.
He was slightly amusing in a few scenes.
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson was just kind of there.
Yeah.
And that they talked. What they talked about was dull.
Yeah.
And I go, are they going to get into a car chase? Is something going to blow up? Is someone going to come after and try to kill him? Nothing. I was like, wow.
There's supposed to be an underlying message that maybe
I
you
m-
didn't get.
I missed it.
Yeah, it evaded you.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like-
But when they say it's brilliant, I'm like, eh.
So speaking of the Oscars, so it was on ABC, and ABC and Hulu. Does ABC own Hulu? Or does Hulu own ABC, Ed? Which way does that go?
I think ABC owns part of Hulu.
Okay, because everything that Hulu streams comes from ABC.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Okay.
so
You say so.
I do. I know because I like there's a new sitcom out there with Tim Allen that I like,
Do you like-
and they show it the next day on Hulu. So it's on
Yeah,
ABC.
I've watched that a few
Okay,
times.
that's not bad.
Not bad.
But anyway, so they were broadcasting the Oscars on ABC, but they were streaming it on Hulu as well, in case people want to just go over to the Hulu stream for whatever. And it looks like too many people went over to Hulu to watch it, and Hulu says technical issues are to blame for subscribers missing out at the end. And the end's the most important part.
Yeah.
That's when the best picture is announced,
Yeah.
at the end. The Disney-owned, ABC, the Disney-owned services stream ended before the Oscars for Best Actress and Best Picture were handed out.
Really?
Yes,
so they didn't even get to see
They
that.
missed it. Upset viewers posted pictures of their screens on social media showing a message from Hulu saying the live event had ended when it hadn't. An earlier glitch also caused issues for some viewers at the start of the show. This was the first ever Oscars to be live streamed. Now, now as a way of not really compensation, but they said we're sorry, and it is their fault we had the glitch, but we fixed the glitch, and now, if you want, you can go back and watch the whole thing and enjoy it that way. Because Hulu is free. You haven't lost any money. You haven't gained any money. They're not going to give you any money because they messed up. They just allow you to go back and watch it again.
But you already know.
But now you already know.
There's no surprise factor
so what's
anymore.
the point? Yeah,
exactly.
of doing
just
it
read
now.
it in the paper or something. See it on news.
Watch on the news and hear, okay, Honora won. Now I know. Why do I want to go watch it?
I don't even know
again?
that name.
Anora. Honora. I think it's the woman's name in the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
As I said, didn't even hear of it.
It's me.
It's one of those.
We must lead a sheltered life.
It's one of those independent films that goes to the art houses and
probably brilliant.
And it's brilliant.
It's probably
and
brilliant.
if you don't get it,
and we
you're
get
wrong.
it.
Okay.
That's okay. I don't mind. Good enough stuff to get.
Well, we haven't had enough Taylor Swift in the news lately.
No, the football season.
Oh, by the way, her boyfriend is going to play another year at Kansas City.
know.
He came out and announced that by Travis Kelce. But an alleged New York cybercrime crew is being charged with stealing and reselling concert tickets, including Taylor Swift's concert tickets.
Really?
Yep. Queens, New York. Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz says Tyrone Rose worked for StubHub and was able to illegally download $635,000 worth of tickets over the course of a year and then resell them for a massive profit. Like these $500 Taylor Swift tickets, I got them, $2,000 and they're all yours, kind of thing.
That's a lot of tickets.
Sure is. They were mostly for Taylor Swift concerts, but also for high-value events such as NBA games and the U.S. Open for you tennis fans, or golf. I'm not sure which U.S. Open it is. Kat says Rose sold them with the help of somebody else, Shamara Simmons of Queens, an alleged co-conspirator. Both have been arrested, facing multiple charges, including grand larceny, computer tampering, and if convicted, they can face 3 to 15 years behind bars.
Wow.
No word of if they have to give back the money on the tickets. So, well,
it's a lot of tickets.
So if he's working for StubHub, he downloads the ticket. The tickets, I guess, are real. They're real. They're not fake tickets. They're just exorbitantly priced. And for those people that wanted to go see Taylor Swift, people were shelling out a lot of money, and I'll take it for $2,000 a piece. No, I won't. But
Wow.
So it is a way to make money. So okay.
Technology at work.
Yep. And one of those deals where I know what I'm doing. I won't get caught. But at $635,000, someone's gonna prick up their ears. What? Something's missing. Yeah, that's bad. There's a man down in New Jersey faces several charges. He's burglarizing Dunkin' Donuts across northern New Jersey. Benjamin Bauman broke into more than a dozen Dunkin' Donuts locations across New Jersey between December 2024 and January 2025, stealing more than $18,000 worth of cash from the coffee chain and causing $10,000 in property damage. Probably came through the roof or something like that. It sounds almost like it's an inside job, because how does he know where the money is at the Dunkin' Donuts when they're closed? Authorities believe he's responsible for similar burglaries in New York. Haven't said what businesses they have impacted. He was remanded to New Jersey after surrendering to authorities last week. Wow. So makes me wonder, because my daughter's worked at the.
I know. Well, I thought of your daughter right away, because I know you said.
And I've never asked, because she has closed the store at night, and I've never asked her, well, what do you do with the money? You can't leave it in the cash register. Is there a safe or something?
Yeah.
But I don't know what they have.
I would think that they deposit money through the day so that there wouldn't be that much money there.
Probably not.
Do businesses do that? Did you do that, Ed, when you had your store? Did you?
Used to deposit at night.
Just at night, so you didn't like deposits during the day, so there's less money there, no?
Right.
Oh.
But there's still money left in the store to start the next day.
Well, yeah.
Same
but
thing with
we had a
Dunkin'
big,
Donuts.
huge safe that you could put in all the cashier drawers and everything, and they were all set up for the next day.
Okay.
When the cashier came in the next day, all she had
That's
to
true,
do was
because you
count
need
it.
money to start up, right? Yeah,
Right.
The next day.
I don't know what I don't know what Dunkin' Donuts have. If they have something like that, or do they just have a like a filing cabinet that's got a lock on it. That would be pretty easy to bust into.
That's not very secure.
It's not very secure, but maybe they only start the day with $200.
Well, they shouldn't need a tremendous amount of money.
No, because most
Just
people
to
don't
start
pay
the
with
day,
cash anymore.
yeah.
They shouldn't.
Yeah.
They'll get
People
it.
are using credit cards and debit cards.
Well, that
and,
too.
You know,
Yeah,
stuff
Nobody's
like
using
that.
And their own
anybody's
app.
using cash
Yeah.
anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
It's not like when I had the store. I mean,
Yeah.
You
back
had to have
then,
cash,
They
yeah.
either had cash or they had
A check.
Checks.
Checks.
That was it.
Yeah.
Well,
That's true.
That'll do it for the show for today. Thank you very much for listening in. Always appreciate it. Once again, we want to remind you that the Spotlight Deal of the Week, the $50 gift certificates to Gators Pub and Lumberjacks Pizza, is a sellout. So thanks to everyone that bought one, and we'll have something new coming up on onradio.dollarsaver.com this coming Friday. Fingers crossed.
Good idea. That's a wonderful idea.
All right,
Yeah.
Ed Crew, thanks for coming in.
Thanks for inviting me.
All right, and Tebow, thanks for coming in.
My pleasure.
All right, I'm Joe Callahan. Have yourself a great day, and stay tuned for Gary Smith and the crew. Do you remember is coming your way at 9:30 here on ON Radio.
Broadcasting live and local daily from the Navigant Credit Union broadcast studio at the corner of Park Avenue and Kennedy Street. This is WOON Woonsocket Radio. And now, the news.
As expected, Rhode Island Governor Dan McKee is running for re-election. His official announcement was released yesterday in a 3-minute video. It makes the case that he inherited a state in the midst of the COVID pandemic, poor performing schools, and a rising addiction rate, and that he's been working to move the state forward. McKee was elevated from lieutenant governor to governor in March 2021, when then Governor Gina Raimondo left to be U.S. Secretary of Commerce. He won his first